Well, joining me now is former Labour Minister for Europe, Denis MacShane. Denis MacShane, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. Unsurprising news to most, but what do you think this signals now with regard to the SNP?
Well, it's extraordinary. Let me just add to Danny and Christine, I too have been arrested in Britain by the communist police in Poland, put in prison, by the apartheid police in South Africa. So, Nana, you're the only innocent person, I think, on the show today.
Well, to be fair, though, if you're arrested, but to be fair, Denis, if you're arrested, doesn't mean you're guilty, though. Just to be fair.
Oh, I was guilty of everything. I mean, my flabber is completely ghasted. It's flabbergasting. I mean, yesterday, Friday, we're living with the collapse, the disappearance of Boris Johnson, and now Nicola Sturgeon joins him in the dustbin of history. She's been detained by the police. Of course, she's innocent till there's a trial or anything, but it's the end, and it's a huge blow to the SNP. And the problem is, you've got these two great populist nationalist parties, the SNP, populist nationalists, saying everything that's a problem in Scotland is a fault of England, and you've got Boris Johnson for the last 15 years making the claim everything that's a problem in Britain is the fault of Europe. So let's get out of Europe. Let's have a nationalist, populist, English-only Tory party and all be well. It's a doppelganger, the double image of Nicola Sturgeon. And boy, oh boy, I mean, these are huge, massive political developments.
Really? I mean, wow. And obviously, the different response from the different parties. So you've got, as Tom pointed out, the Labour Party saying that Hamza Yousaf must come clean, say what he knew. And then you've got the Conservatives saying, show some leadership and suspend Nicola Sturgeon. Why do you think they have such differing approaches?
Well, right now, I imagine all Labour wants. I mean, you were calling him Hamza Useless non-stop a few weeks ago. Now, I well remember, I love the nickname. I saw him on the BBC with Laura Kunzberg this morning, and he was useless. And I think he'll be blown out of the water by this. There was a Scottish Daily Express poll a few days ago showing Labour winning 31 seats in Scotland. Now, I think, like all those polls, that's an exaggeration. But the plain fact is that the glory days of the SNP are coming to an end. They're not going to go away. Scotland doesn't want to be controlled by parties based in London, that's for sure. But the idea that breaking Britain apart, putting borders and passport checks at Gretna Green between Scotland and England isn't going to work. I think the Rutherglen, I was born in Rutherglen, I know Rutherglen, I've got family in Rutherglen, and this is the constituency which now will have a recall petition, and I expect the SNP may well lose that seat. I mean, it's just accelerating beyond belief. We are actually an international laughing stock at the moment with all the things that's been happening in the last decade coming to this huge crunch moment.
I know, it does feel like that, doesn't it? Denis MacShane, thank you very much. Always good to talk to you.